Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Taisho Alice, and we are going to start Kaguya's route. And here's the thing with this. He's got like 14 bad endings, and the way the guide is written, it kind of goes through, because with his, it's a choice. Like, you get to a choice, you choose the wrong thing, you get a bad ending. For the most part. And there's 14 of them, at least, I think. From what I've seen, the consensus seems to be 14, but there's 14 at least saves in the guide. So, I was thinking about it, I'm like, well, maybe we'll use the guide and go down the good route, whatever. I'm thinking that because his is so complicated and there's so many bad endings, because I debated, I'm like, should we just start and just go, and then we'll just get a bad ending, and then, like, but that could be 5 minutes in, and then we'll go back, and then try something out, and then see what happens, and just kind of mess around like we do usually the first time through a route. But we're most likely going to get all the bad endings, like, right off the bat, because you make the wrong choice on one question, and you're fucked, right? But because the guide's so complicated, just because there's so many endings, it's going to be really hard to keep track of if I'm like, okay, did we get this bad ending or did we get that bad ending? What bad ending did we get? So I'm going to follow the guide, but what we're going to do is follow the guide the way it's written. So, this is the guide on Steam. So if you have the game on Steam or whatever, you can actually look it up. And actually, the person who wrote it, I can't scroll over and see it because, like, I have it set up on my TV that serves as my dual monitor for work, and I've hooked it up to this computer, but I can't take my mouse out of the game, so I have to set up multiple windows. Look, okay? So train wreck over here, okay? So I can't tell you the name of the person who wrote it, but it's on Steam. It's the same guide we used for Gretel's endings, so at any rate, the way they've written the guide is you go through each choice, and then if there is a choice that's going to give you a bad ending, it's like you make that bad ending and then you load back that save and then you keep going and then you keep making the little loops, bad ending, loop back in. Okay, bad ending, loop back in. And I think that'd be easier to do just because otherwise I'd have to be like, okay, so I'm saving here, and then we keep going and keep going. Okay, then we save here, and then and then I have to go back and be like, save one, wait. Load save one, no, but go back to the prior choice. It might just be too confusing. We might miss something. So I'm just going to go with it in order of the guide, and we're going to get all the endings, and then we'll probably get, because I think the way it works, I don't have it scrolled down that far. I only have up to save 5 that I can see. So hopefully we won't get that far in this hour. I doubt we will. But I think you get to an ending, and then you have to go back and load prior saves, like 11, 12, or like a few of the other ones. So some of the bad endings might be after the fact, but we'll probably hit a lot of them as we go, which is kind of no different than if we were playing it blind, because I'm pretty sure I'd hit 90% of the bad endings right off the bat. So we're going to start from the beginning. We're going to pick Kaguya, the man wearing a mask and a cheeky grin. The hot amber liquid rippled in rose-printed porcelain. I could smell citrus in the steam. This was but one of the many cafes in the looking-glass world. Customers came from all over town to enjoy a spot of afternoon tea. Excuse me, but could I get the check? Sure thing. It was one of our regulars. I stopped what I was doing and had it over. Okay, so we work in the cafe again in this one. All right. Thanks. The tea was excellent as always. I've tried a lot of cafes around town, but none of them hold a candle to this one. Glad to hear it. We really appreciate your business. I smiled back at him. Oh, so it was a him. Whatever. Look. Anytime there's a rando voice and I give it a man voice, it's like she, and I'm like, God damn it. So this time I just assumed tea drinker was a lady. You know what? My name is Spacey Aris. Occupation, waitress. Oh, actually, because he's a regular. When I handed him his change, his eyes lit up. Well, what is it? Tilting my head, I gazed into his eyes. He faltered and glanced away. What are you doing, Bird? Being so fucking weird. I was just wondering if you had a boyfriend or... Hey, you there, waitress. Let me borrow you for a sec. I remember Cinderella's motherfucking voice. That I remember. We gave him the Lupin treatment. I'm not dumb. I heard a certain someone calling from behind the counter and flinched exaggeratedly in mock surprise. Coming! Sorry, but we'll have to pick this up again some other time. I shot the customer a quick wink. In response, he smiled slightly and raised a hand in farewell. You called, Cinderella? Oh, I did miss him. Look, when he wears his weird head wrap, he looks a little ridiculous, but like when he's all dressed all dapper like this, he's still pretty. Ouch! After the man left the cafe, I returned to the counter, only to get smacked upside the head with an empty plate. I told you, when you're on the floor, you address me as Sir. Yes, sir. I responded cheerfully, and the grumpy-looking man let out a sigh. His name was Cinderella, and he managed the cafe. In other words, he was my boss. I don't mind you getting chatty with the regulars, but don't get too distracted. It's really weird because I'm doing the Cinderella the voice for Cinderella is the voice for Shiraishi, and I'm doing it both at the same time, so... It's a lot of... It's a lot of Shiraishi voice today. Like... Anyway. Okay, I won't. Normally, Cinderella liked to ditch the cafe and goof off in town, but every now and then he'd get bored enough to help me run the store. He was a fairly handy guy and could master any task you threw at him, but his social skills weren't quite as polished. Yeah, let's put it that way. Are you just insulting me in your head? No? I cocked my head cutely. Whatever. Anyway, see that couple by the window? I'll let you take their order. You can go on a break and... Just then... I hate your guts! Ooh, a slap. A loud voice rang through the dining area, followed by a slapping sound. Oh God, I forgot! We gave Kaguya an accent, didn't we? And I didn't listen to it, so I don't remember what voice we gave him the last time. Oh shit, I forgot that I was gonna, like, go back to a prior video and figure that out. Oh man. Should we check? Should I check now for you? And okay, you know what? I'm gonna check for you. I'll be back in 2 seconds. You won't know that I was ever gone. I could have just literally gone silent, but anyway. I'll be back in a minute. Oh, I did give him an accent, and it was a bit terrible, wasn't it? But I guess we're gonna try it again. Okay. Oh, God, the cringe. I am so sorry for everyone who watched the first part and was like, stop. Because guess what? Just don't watch Kaguya's path then, because it's going to be bad. Because he's going to be talking a lot. I'm going to fall in and out of it, but... Wow. Yeah, so we did. We gave him a nice, lovely, terrible fucking accent, and then we just tried to work it so he gets the fun accent. It was easier in London Detective Mysteria with Jack because it was written in, but he does say puppet and in it. And so he does have a bit, like, he's written with an accent, but I can't do a Kansai accent. I can't do a proper, like, Japanese kind of accent. I can't, you know what I mean? So anyway. And Kaguya, probably. We've been calling him Kaguya, haven't we? But it's probably Kaguya. See, I've learned some shit between playing, although I'd still want to read it wrong until I heard myself say it when I went to the first part. I'm like, probably reading that wrong like I've been doing with every other... Anyway. Oof! Anyway, that we can read normal, so this is going to be a train wreck, and I'm sorry, but... The source was none other than the very couple Cinderella had just indicated. Do you have anything to say for yourself? The peaceful atmosphere was gone, replaced by sizzling tension. I get he's a bit of a man whore. Evidently, the woman had struck her boyfriend. He sat there clutching his cheek and gazing at his bow with a half smile. Feels like a soap opera. I smell drama. Well, you're quite lovely when you're angry. It's gonna be kind of fun, though, to do the accent. Terrible, but fun. Look, just have fun with it and enjoy the terrible voice acting, okay? Because, like, I'm not getting paid for this, so that's what. If I were getting paid for this, I'd feel sorry for you, but... He grinned like a goofball. Naturally, the woman struck him again. Don't hurt him, he's a precious! He seems like he might be an asshole in this route, I'm not sure, but he was our precious sweetheart. We loved him the second he showed up. We're like, oh, I love you, you're so adorable. And he was so sweet and wonderful to us in our route when he was just our manservant. And we were like, can I marry you? So excited. This time the impact sent him toppling right out of his chair. Gah! I'm done with you. We're over. Goodbye forever. Yeah, until he gets me and then you want him back, bitch. Whatever. And with that, the woman stormed out. Shh. Sheesh. What a harpy. Cinderella wasn't one to mince his words. Will you approach the man on the floor? I think the right answer is yes. What happens if we say no? Not actually a bad ending. Not a bad ending. It's shocking. Thinking quickly, I pulled out my handkerchief, ran some cold water over it, then hurried over to the fallen man. Excuse me, are you all right, sir? I pressed the cool cloth against his swollen cheek. Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. He blinked back at me, his eyes wide as saucers. Then out of nowhere, he clasped my hand in his. Blimey, you're one fit bird. Will you go out with me? And asked me out on the spot. All around us, I could hear the other customers whispering. In response to a sudden confession, you punch him. Okay. The first bad ending is here. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, I wouldn't have gotten this bad ending because I would have known the right answer is accept, but I kind of want to punch him. But, like, that's not in the guide. I'm going to quick save. Let's just quick save for a second. I want to punch him and see what happens. No, we should turn him down, then come back and punch him and see if it goes down the same bad ending. So we're going to turn him down like we're supposed to. Okay? I'm sorry. I bowed my head politely. Oh, I guess that's a no then. I should have known a bird as cute as you is out of my league. His tone was light-hearted, if a bit awkward. I looked up and sure enough he was smiling. All right then. I reckon this is farewell, pretty lady. Pretty lady? After the man left, an awkward silence descended over the entire cafe. Unable to stand it, I went on lunch break and stole away to my favorite spot. Phew! I took a bite of my sandwich and washed it down with a sip of milk. What an odd guy. As I gazed up at the sky, I thought back to today's events. I can read, I swear. Working in the service industry, I can't read. All right. Wow. I'd experienced my fair share of flirtatious comments, but never before had anyone asked me out on the spot. Not only that, but he probably wanted to use me as a rebound girlfriend. Not something most women would enjoy, I'd wager. But for some reason, even though I'd only just met him, part of me was already a tiny bit fond of him. I know, right? Because he's a little weird. Maybe part of it was simply his good looks, as shallow as that sounds. Sometimes shit happens that's shallow. It's okay. Not if you're always shallow, but we all have shallow moments. It's okay. What would have happened if I'd said yes? I mean, like, shallow. I love Gretel. He's adorable. He's a psychopath. But we were also a little cray-cray in his route. So it was okay. It worked out for us. But I love Kaguya. He's beautiful. That's shallow. He could be a total douche. He dumped a girl and then instantly asked us out. Maybe we're the one that's going to fix him. But I mean, in real life, bullshit. Anyway. What would have happened if I'd said yes? The game would have continued. Fortunately, no one was around to hear me talking to myself, except the wizard. Want to find out? Just then I heard a voice from behind me, and my heart nearly stopped. Like, I don't remember the voice we gave the wizard. I turned around just as a black cat walked up and nuzzled itself against me. Oh, a cat. Wait, who are you? My gaze slowly shifted upwards to the man towering over me, dressed in peculiar garb. Everyone in this game is dressed in peculiar garb. Okay, he's a little more peculiar, but... Nice to meet you. I'm the wizard. You're... the wizard? Yep. Oh, and you don't need to introduce yourself. I know all about you. Sure, buddy. Wait a minute. Do you think I'm trying to hit on you? You're not? Maybe somewhere in between. That's not until part 3. But I must warn you, what I offer is not sugar and romance. So you're a bad boy, is that it? Perhaps. Care to find out? I mean, I want to find out, don't get me wrong, but we can't. No thanks. Alas, what a shame. How do you feel about strangers hitting on you anyway? Huh? The way I see it, while it may seem shallow at first glance, it remains a valid way of meeting people. Think about it. We go our lives never speaking to the vast majority of the human race. Those who play a part in our lives are but a fraction of the total population. So how many times will you get the chance to meet someone new? It seems so commonplace, but it's actually rather rarer than you might think. I must say, you truly wasted your opportunity back there. Sorry, but I don't want people to think I'm easy. Your precious self-image matters little compared to the mission at hand. Excuse me? The mission? Indeed, the mission. What mission? But I'm afraid our time is up, little heroine. Back to the start. But try harder this time. I turn my volume down. It's like super fucking loud. Your fairy tales mark the end. And here we go. Sorry. Can I punch him and see what happens? I'm gonna punch him and see what happens. Continue from our quick save. Can I punch him and see what happens? Ow! In a knee-jerk reaction, I hit him with a karate chop. I don't think we ever get to choose this, and I want to see what happens. Can you blame me? Everything about this guy screamed womanizer. Look at how beautiful he is. Hey! No! Oh, Cinderella. Hey! I'm now hitting the customers. Ouch! The next thing I knew, Cinderella walked right up to me and smacked me with his plate again. I'm sorry, it was a reflex. Feeling guilty over my violent reaction, I apologized. But the man waved it away with a smile. I'm sure we get the same bad ending, but... Oh, I don't terribly mind. It didn't even hurt if I'm honest. That was a sort of playful smack, yeah? Playful? You're a funny girl, you are. Somehow my rude behavior had provoked no more than an amiable grin. Amiable grin. Amiable grin? Wow. So, what say you? Fancy a date with me? Prepositioned for the second time, you. Happily accept? I'm assuming continues on the... Politely decline? Just as I was fumbling for a polite way to turn him down, Cinderella cut in. Sir, this is a cafe, not a dating service. What, is flirting against the rules? I tilted my head, confused. He turned and glared at me. It is now. Is this your boyfriend, then? The man gestured to Cinderella. Like hell I am. Do you think I'd date this plain Jane? Wow, harsh. Plain Jane, she's stunning, ravishing, and adorable to boot. Aw, thanks. He casually took my hand. So how about that date? Slow your roll, punk. This time Cinderella smacked him with the plate. Ow, this is worth figuring fucking out if this is an amazing fucking scenario happening here. I love this so much. Cinderella, you can't hit a customer! Oh, who cares? I feel like a lot of people would care, actually. The man lay collapsed over the table, staring at my legs. Yeah, well, that uniform is cute and sexy, too. Ha! Oh, that was Cinderella, not me. I screamed like a girl. You know what? Go with it. Cinderella silently landed another blow with the plate. Cinderella, will you stop? At this point, our cafe's reputation was in danger. I grabbed him by the arm and glared up at him. What? That's enough. Knock it off. Fine. Cinderella glanced around the dining floor. His sharp glare made all the other customers hastily avert their eyes. That goes for the rest of you. This is a restaurant. No oogling my employee. Oh, come off it, mate. You think you can keep her all to yourself? I reckon you chose the uniform, yeah? Cinderella promptly smacked him again. And then this is amazing. That was amazing. That was the best way to get that bad ending. Turn him down is not the fun way of doing it. That's not the fun way of doing it. And I also want to see what happens. Okay, we punch him. Hold on. What happens if we accept? Sure. What? My response shocked our audience even more. You know, I don't mean going outside, right? I mean go out, as in romantically. Yes, I understand that. You mean it? Excellent! I'm chuffed to bits. Whoa, hold the damn phone. Are you out of your mind? Did I overwork you to the point of insanity? The next thing I knew, Cinderella walked right up to me and put a hand on my forehead. No fever. I'm afraid I'm sound in body and mind. Are you sure? As Cinderella stared at me in shock, my new boyfriend pushed himself up onto his feet and gave me a big hug, beaming from ear to ear. I'm pretty sure that if you accept the confession, it comes somewhere around in here, but we're going to wait till the scene kind of changes and then I'll go back, accept, and see where it happens. I just wanted to see all options of this because it's fucking amazing. It's the best thing. Are you glad we experienced this? I'm happy for you. Are you happy for you too? We're all happy for each other. Anyway. Brilliant. Brilliant. As of today, you're my new girlfriend. What the? Hey! Get off her, pal! Conscious of the public eye, I gave him a little push and he backed away slightly. So tell me, what's your name? It's Spacey. Spacey! Oh, that's a fetching name. Suits you perfectly. It does, actually. He clasped both of my hands and shook them firmly. Thanks. What about you? As we don't even know— oh my god, so funny. Me! Name's Kaguya. Kaguya? Kaguya? Kaguya. It's Kaguya. Well, you can call me whatever pet name you fancy. I think I'll stick with Kaguya for now. Well then, Spacey, I think this is the start of a wonderful new relationship. I look forward to it very much. It was just another day in your average run-of-the-mill cafe. Or so I thought. But through a series of unforeseen events, I ended up with a boyfriend. I'm going to guarantee you that if you accept it, it leads back here. So hold on a second. We're going to quick save here. I'm going to quick look. Oh, never mind. Quick save. How do I menu? Let's load this. Let's go back here. Let's accept. Sure. And then Cinderella says, "What?" My response shocked our audience even more. You know, I don't mean going outside. I mean going out. We can't skip this because we technically haven't read it, but it's the same thing. Yes, I understand. You mean it? Excellent. I'm chuffed a bit. Yeah, this is all the same. Hold the damn phone. You already. Yeah, no. Cinderella, hand on my forehead. No fever. I'm sound of mind and body. Are you sure? As of today, you're my new girlfriend. Okay, you know, this is all the same. We can't skip it because technically it came from a different load point and they didn't say come back to the, you know what I mean? They didn't come back to the same point, but it's the exact same text. Suits you perfectly. Okay, yeah. Perfect. Okay, so that's exactly what it is if you punch him and then accept. I'm sorry, punch him, then accept is still the best. That is still the best freaking option. It's the greatest moment. Anyway, I can't believe this. After that one-of-a-kind whirlwind courtship, I went back to work like nothing ever happened. Believe what? You and him. How long have you known each other? Like 2 minutes? He asked you out the second he laid eyes on you and you said yes? Talk about speed dating. What a time saver, am I right? Kaguya was sitting at his table, sipping the tea I made for him with a smile on his face. He noticed me looking at him and waved cheerfully. Not to be outdone, I waved back. Meanwhile, Cinderella rolled his eyes. I can maybe understand where he's coming from, but you're indecipherable. You think so? You're actually surprised by this. Well, what's so bad about it? It's not blindingly obvious. The pacing is wrong. The whole damn setup is wrong. What, so he's supposed to be an asshole to me, treat me like crap, and then realize and like tell me that he was conning me the whole time, but now he's actually in love with me? Seriously, that's what you would have him do? Look, Kaguya is a different man than you are, Cindy. Sorry. Oh yeah? What do you mean by setup? You know, the order of operations, the emotional arc. You can't just go from 0 to 100 with these things. It takes time. There are steps. Oh, I see. How very traditionalist of you. He reached out and pinched my cheek. I don't like your sass, lady. I'm not trying to be sassy. That guy thinks he's a lady killer. You can tell from the way he's dressed. He goes through girls like underwear, I guarantee it. You saw it for yourself. One minute he gets dumped and the next he's already moved on to you. Rubbing my sore cheek, I tilted my head in contemplation. What's so bad about that? If anything, it just means I know for a fact that he's single, doesn't it? I mean, yeah, but... Look, Cinderella. What? I don't approve of you trash-talking some guy you only just met. Oh, but it's fine if you date him instead. Getting to know each other is the whole point of dating. You go on dates because you want to know more about them. He scowled at me. So you're interested in this guy? I wouldn't agree to it if I wasn't. Well, if you're fine with it, then I'll let it go. But don't come crying to me, got it? Why not? Won't you comfort me? Not on your life. Now go take your lunch break. Okay, thanks. Be back soon. I pulled off my apron and headed over to see my new boyfriend. Sorry I took so long. No problem at all, love. Watching you work, why, the time just flies by. I mean it. Glad to hear it. Look, we're gonna fuck up his accent at some point, so just, like, enjoy it while it's only moderately terrible. Just, it's moderately terrible. Just let me live in my denial, okay? Feeling peckish? Am I ever? Me too. Let's go have ourselves a bite to eat. Okay. Oh, but first... Kaguya knelt down in front of me and offered his hand. I'm going to say Kaguya and I'm going to switch back and forth because I'm so used to calling him Kaguya, but I know it's probably Kaguya. It's where the accent is in a name. We've probably been saying it wrong for fucking forever, but... If I might take your hand, Puppet. Calls us Puppet again. Charming. And so, hand in hand, we walked down the street. Considering I'd only known him for a few hours, this was all happening rather quickly, and I was a bit flustered. What do you want to have for lunch, Kaguya? Oh, I'm fine with anything. What about you? Good question. The lunch rush had come and gone, but the streets were still brimming with appetizing smells. Fried food, meats, baked goods. As I debated internally, my eyes met Kaguya's and he smiled. If you're not sure, why don't we just browse through all the shops that look interesting? Good idea. If anything catches your fancy, let me know, yeah? Okay, same goes for you. I can't do a charming chuckle in his voice. I hate it when they laugh. I can't laugh. His favorite girl? Already? Jeez, I'm blushing. Me too, a little bit. No matter what? No matter what. At this point, it was clear I was going to have to be the one to make the decision. In terms of first date food, I'd usually go with a nice, classy cafe, but I couldn't exactly go to a rival cafe on my lunch break. Perhaps my best bet was a crepe or something in that vein. How about crepes? Oh, that sounds lovely. Let's find ourselves a crepe stand then. Okay? Grinning, Kaguya led me by the hand. You seem really happy. His childlike innocence made a simple stroll feel like so much fun. Of course I am, Poppet. I'm over the moon to have a girlfriend as cute as you. What's Poppet mean anyway? Think of it like sweetheart. Or princess if you fancy. I've never heard it before. Is it some kind of regional slang? Maybe. Couldn't you tell? Oh, couldn't tell ya. He's so adorable. You're not from around here, are you, Kaguya? Are you from a different country? Is that how I come off? I mean, you got a little bit of an accent there, so maybe. Don't know where it's from, because it's kind of rubbish, but whatever. I'm just looking around. It gets worse as we go, Jesus. So you're not, or... I was merely trying to make small talk. After all, it was the perfect way to learn more about my new boyfriend, as well as a healthy part of any budding relationship. But just then, a delicious fragrance wafted its way over to us. Looking around for the source, I followed my nose and found... kebabs. Kebabs? I don't think that's how you spell kebabs. And I've never heard of a kebab. Anyway. Yeah, kebabs of all things. Fucking kebabs, the wicked fucking pizza. Swear to God, pack the cat and let's get kebabs. Kebabs. What the fuck? What is it? That came out more Cinderella. I don't know what's happening. Oh, nothing. I turned away from the kebab stand. No matter how good it sounded, there was no way in hell I could eat kebabs on a first date. Besides, I'd already told Kaguya I wanted crepes. Cute, feminine crepes. I'd sooner die than turn to him and ask, hey, can we go with kebabs instead? So I needed to shift my stomach out of meat mode and start thinking about dessert. Oh, look, Puppet. I've spotted something tasty. Let's be off. Whoa! Pulling me by the hand, he led me to the very same kebab stand. And this one. Oh, what a scrummy smell. Yeah. It was such perfect timing. I didn't quite know how to react. Behind the stand, the man in charge was happily grilling his skewers of meat over a charcoal fire. Oh, the closer I get, the better it smells. Say, why don't we forget about the crepes and get kebabs instead? Huh? They look good, don't you think? I know I said I'd let you choose, but would you mind terribly? He tilted his head inquiringly. Oh, no, I don't mind at all. That suits me fine. I gave him a thumbs up. If anything, it's everything I ever wanted and more. In response, Kaguya gave me a thumbs up in kind, tapping his thumb against mine. Excellent. Sir, I'd like to order one for each of us. Couple's discount if you got it. With our purchase complete, we paid a visit to the lake. No one else was around, so it was the perfect place for a private moment. Kaguya, let me pay you back for my half. No, that's all right. A proper gentleman never lets his lady pay. And besides, he already cut me a discount when he saw how cute you were. Shall we sit? Oh, shall we sit here? He spotted a bench on the lakeshore and set his things out. Set his things onto it. I cannot read. Are you sure you don't want me to pay you back? Yep, no problem. Nothing to feel guilty about. Okay then, thanks for treating me. Of course. You're very welcome. He patted me on the head. Now, why don't we sit down and have our meal? Okay. Oh, just a moment. Huh? Without warning, he suddenly pulled off his kimono and spread it out on the bench. Wouldn't want to get your clothes dirty now, would we? I'll go ahead and sit on my kimono. What? You don't have to do that. It's just a bench. Besides, I don't want to get your kimono all dirty. Too late, it's on the bench. Oh, I don't mind a little dirt. I'll come have a sit down, all right? He pulled me down onto the bench, on top of his kimono layer. Sorry about this. And nothing to apologize for. Anyone would do this for their girlfriend, surely. Would they? They would indeed. And now just a moment while I get you your meal. He's like got a weird fucking strange ass almost Irish accent, but he's wearing a kimono. You come for this bullshit, don't you? You don't actually come for, like, decent gameplay. You come for the bullshit, the rambling, the birds fucking being obnoxious and me doing terrible fucking accents. Like, you didn't come for quality. Oh, God. I hope it's entertaining. I hope you're not like, God, stop with the accent, you suck. You know what? Honestly, if you're at that point, then you just shouldn't even be on this channel, because this is what we do here. Oh. I think we already read that. Okay. He pulled a skewer out of the paper bag and slid each piece of meat off the stick onto a paper plate. What are you doing? Oh, I'm getting your meat ready for you. I wouldn't want you to have to bite it off with your teeth or else you get sauce on your face. Or do you prefer it that way? If so, you can just take this one. I feel so pampered. Almost like I'm a real princess. It's nothing. Any boyfriend would do the same. I somehow doubt that. There you go, puppet. Now say ah. Wait, what? He held up the kebab, or rather just the meat, up to my mouth. Say ah. Ah? After a moment of hesitation, I opened my mouth and took the bite. How's it taste? It's divine! My reply came out a bit louder than I meant it to. The meat was delightfully tender, and the juices danced on my tongue as I chewed. The seasoning wasn't too overpowering either. As I savored the meat, Kaguya beamed with satisfaction. Glad to hear it. You can have my portion too if you fancy. As he spoke, he slid the pieces of meat from the second skewer. What? Don't you want it? Nah, I already ate while I was at your cafe. Surely the little treats we sell aren't enough of a meal to satisfy a grown man. If memory serves, all he had was a scone and a cup of tea. I'd be starving if I was him. Wait, then why the heck did I suggest crepes of all things? Sorry, I was hearing weird noises. I think it was Little Bird hiding over in the corner, squeaking. Okay, crepes. And despite how I may look, I don't actually have a huge appetite. Here we are. Go on, have some more. He stabbed a piece of meat onto his fork and held it up to my mouth. I was caught in quite a quandary. Oh. Was he actually full? Or was he just offering to be polite? Will you eat Kaguya's share? We are going to, where's the guide? Encourage him to eat it himself. Yes. Kaguya, do you think I'm some kind of hunger monster? I gave him a withering stare. Hunger monster? You've never heard of it? It's a wicked creature that gobbles up everything in sight. That's seriously how I feel sometimes. Am I in danger, then? I mean, yeah. He cocked his head playfully. That's the theme of episode 2. We're the wicked witch who wanted to eat me, Gretel. And now we're like, we're gonna eat Kaguya. Like, damn. Alright, we hungry. I mean, some of these boys make me thirsty, but like, I mean, jeez. He cocked his head playfully. Oh yes, I'm afraid so. Alright then. If it's for you, I don't care a jot. Go on and gobble me up. How do you respond to his joke? Make a sassy retort. Play along, ignore it, give him a weird look. Weird look or ignore it I feel is bad. Play along or sassy retort. We play along. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to give him a sassy retort, but... Roar! I grabbed him by the arm and made monster noises at him. Ah! You're so cute. I think that's the 8th time he's called me cute so far. Okay, but all jokes aside, I think we should take this opportunity to eat together. Right you are. He retracted his fork. Then something occurred to me. Oh, did you want me to feed you next? Brilliant. Would you? Will you feed Kaguya? I feel like fuck yes is the right answer. Wait a minute. Will you feed Kaguya? Fuck yes is the right answer. He passed me the fork. I stabbed a piece of meat onto it and held it up to his mouth. Say ah. How is it? My god, it's delicious. I know, right? Our mushy couple quotient was off the charts. Charts. Wow. Hard to think we were total strangers just a few hours ago. You're still kind of total strangers, but it's okay. Here, have some water. Thanks. Once our meal was finished, Kaguya took the initiative to throw away our trash and buy us some drinks. I offered to go in his place, but he insisted. He really seems to enjoy waiting on me hand and foot. Thank you for always being so considerate, Kaguya. No problem, really. I do it because I like to. That's all. He just needs to be in a relationship so he can worship someone. But then he does something weird that's gonna make me, like, smack him. Afterwards, the two of us stared out at the gently rippling lake. My lunch break was approaching its end, and I knew that time would be better spent having some sort of conversation, but I think we were both in a bit of a food coma. Curiously, I stole another glance at Kaguya's face and profile beside me. What is it? How's your cheek? I gingerly touched the pink, swollen spot on his face. Kind of where she slapped him and I punched him. Shh, we're going with the I punched him and then agreed to date him. Because that'd just be funnier. Though we didn't let it show, I could tell it must hurt badly. As it spoiled my good looks. You're implying that you had good looks to begin with. Just got a little Van Helsing in me. I'm afraid so. You really think that highly of yourself, huh? I'm just messing. I pulled my handkerchief out of my pocket and pressed it against his cheek. No need to dirty your handkerchief on my account. Or should I buy you a new one? I don't need a new one, but you should keep this one and use it when you need to. Kaguya cocked his head at me. Are you sure I can have it? Sure, I don't mind. He blinked at me in surprise, the same way he had back when we first met. Then the look in his eyes softened. In that case, I gratefully accept. Cheers. His lips curled into a contented grin. You're very welcome. I grinned right back at him. You're such a good girl. Well, I'm certainly not a bad girl, but I don't know that I'm especially good either. You sure about that? You can never judge a book by its cover. It's not too late to change your mind about me, you know. I smirked mischievously, and then he's like, yeah, you're right, I should. Heartbroken. I'm afraid I don't plan on it, Puppet. But I suppose you could. I think it's a little premature for that. I'll need to wait until I know you a bit better. You muppet! You're supposed to say, not gonna happen, like a proper good girl. Will you respond like a proper good girl? We're supposed to say yes. I want to be like, no. Why? Why does he make me want to fuck with him so bad? Psh, no. You suck, but no, come back here. You know you love me. Like, oh my god. Not gonna happen. I feel like that's our no. No, are you gonna respond like a proper good girl? Not gonna happen. Like, I mean, you're not gonna leave me, or you're not gonna respond like a proper good girl. Both. Much better. Just then, Kaguya looked up as if he thought he remembered something. You're going back to work after this, right, Puppet? Are you alright on time then? Oh crap! And by oh crap, I meant, oh crap! I was having so much fun, I completely lost track of time. Shall we head back? Yes, please. Before I could rise to my feet, he offered me a hand. If I might take your hand, princess. Thank you. Gosh, I really do feel like a princess. I want to know what the fuck is wrong with him, but, like, everything seems so right. Aside from the, like, I just broke up with a girl. You want to date me? Okay. But I mean, like, I don't regret this. Hoping to contribute something in return, I reached to take his kimono off the bench and shake it out, but he beat me to the punch there, too. He thinks of everything. As he brushed the dust from his clothes, he turned to me. Oh, here's an idea. What time do you get off work today? Could I wait around until then? Sure. On the way back to the cafe, we engaged in lots of fun conversation. Have you been working there long? Oh, I don't know, about 2 years now? 2 years? That would explain it. And the tea you made me was positively exquisite. That's kind of you to say. How is the scone? Oh yes, very nice. I baked those myself, actually. What, Gretel doesn't exist in this? I mean, Cinderella's running the cafe. Gretel's not our brother. Huntsman is always our fucking brother. And everything, but like, well, yeah, he was in Red Riding Hood's route, definitely. Cinderella's he might not have been. Because he wasn't around, but he was in Red Riding Hood's. Anyway. They only bring the huntsman in when you need him. Like, you have Cinderella, you have Red Riding Hood, and you need the hunter, right? Hansel and Gretel, I guess you need the huntsman. But, like, Kaguya, who the fuck is Kaguya? Where did he come from? I mean, the rest of them are coming from, like, Grimm's kind of fairy tales, right? Like, Cinderella, Snow White, Hansel, Gretel, Little Red Riding Hood, but, like, Kaguya is so fucking far outside that box. It's interesting. Like, the wizard, I mean, I guess is just the wizard. Alice. Alice is not a Grimm's fairy tale. It's like Alice in Wonderland. But, like, so, but they're all coming from different stories and, like, kind of fairy tale things, but, like, Kaguya. Huh. Is it a Japanese fable or something that he comes from? It's just in this game that I don't know. Anyway, tell me if you know. Wow, that's incredible. So you're adorable and a good cook. I'm always a good cook in all these, aren't I? Nah, I'm nothing special. And yet I was gloating internally. I quite like that cafe, actually. The food's nice, the uniform's sexy, and the manager... Well, he's a bit of a character, isn't it? Yeah, Cinderella's a good guy. Really fun to work with. Yeah, he is kind of fun. I do love him. Oh, but to be clear, you're a good guy too. You're really kind and you're always smiling. I figured I probably shouldn't gush about some other guy in front of my new boyfriend, so I added some compliments for him too. You sure you're talking about me? He smiled sheepishly. Of course I am. I really think you're great. Meanwhile, I shifted my attention to our surroundings. Look at all these women staring at Kaguya. I think I just heard someone say, check out that hottie. As I returned my gaze to Kaguya's perfect face, he blinked at me curiously. Oh, it's nothing. I turned back to the road ahead of us and came face to face with a young woman. Her surprise quickly shifted to fury and she stormed right up to us. Oh god, he left a trail of whores in his wake to me. One look at the glare in her eyes and I could already tell what was about to happen. She wasn't glaring at me. She was glaring at Kaguya. Well, duh. Do you know her, Kaguya? Despite her impending doom, I forced my tone to stay level. Under pressure from the woman's glare and my question, Kaguya faltered and started to laugh nervously. Who are you again? Screw you! The next thing I heard was an airy slap. Kaguya, are you okay? I'm alright. Judging from the sound of his voice, he was anything but. And who the hell are you? Me? Well, I'm his girlfriend, I suppose. Oh yeah? Well, so am I! I smiled stiffly. This was exactly what I'd been afraid of. I see. So I take it you're mad because he's cheating on you. Excuse me? How does this not faze you? Her anger was perfectly reasonable, of course, because I just started going out with him today and I didn't know he had another woman, and, well... Now tell me what the hell is going on here! I demand an explanation! Are you seriously dating other women behind my back? Or was I the other woman in this equation? No, I think you were first. Just for the record. I think you were first? Is he okay? You think? What do you mean, just for the record? What is wrong with you? Who do you actually want? Me or her? Well, me, obviously. So, in this case, her, because that's me. Well... Kaguya glanced at each of us in turn. Spacey, I reckon. Flushed with rage, the woman raised her hand to strike once more. Wait, please! I grabbed her arm. The hell do you want? I won't deny it. What he's done is despicable, and more than worthy of your retribution. But I'm partially at fault here myself. The fact of the matter is, unbeknownst to either of us, I stole him from you. I paused to take a breath. Wow, we're really taking the blame for this yet? So if you're going to hit someone, hit me instead. I beg your pardon? What, you think you're some goody two-shoes? You're a homewrecker! You're absolutely right, which is why I ought to be held accountable. So go ahead, hit me. Spacey. I relinquished my grip on her arm, closed my eyes, and gritted my teeth to brace myself for impact. But that impact never came. That feels lovely. Kaguya sighed peacefully as he pressed an ice pack to his inflamed cheek. This poor fucker. He's been slapped, punched, and slapped again. I'm still going with we punched him before we agreed to date him. I know that technically we went back and we just accepted and we didn't technically... But in my mind, we punched him and then accepted because that was way more fun. So, he's been bitch slapped a lot today. Does it hurt? Oh, just a tidge. Well, I'm afraid you'll just have to suck it up. Considering what you did to her, you got off easy. Yeah. He smiled stiffly as I fell silent. Then, to break the tension, he glanced around. So, this is what the second floor of the cafe looks like then. Yep. I work down on the first floor and rent a room up here on the second. Oh my god, Alice is here fucking somewhere and you know it. After the scandal, I brought Kaguya to my room. We've been together for less than a day, and I've already brought him home with me. My grandmother would faint. My grandmother would die. Oh my god! No. that was a terrible joke. Both of my grandmothers are gone. Are you sure you're comfortable having me in here? Just so we're clear, I don't do this with all the guys. You're a special exception. Because I'm your boyfriend. I prodded his cheek with my index finger. Because you're injured. Frankly, you were lucky she was willing to have mercy on you because she was entirely in the right. That said, I knew all along she wasn't going to take me up on my offer. Her first slap had already drawn a considerable amount of attention. If she went on to strike the sweet and innocent other woman, she would have caused even more of a scene. By God, we are so fucking smart and manipulative. No, I know. It's what I deserve for cheating on her. He slumped his shoulders. I mean, he's kind of a terrible person. Darn right. I pulled the ice pack away from his face, then cleared my throat. I mean, honestly, here's the thing. You broke up with a girl, instantly went out with another one. Okay, that's a little weird, but like, fine. You cheated on that woman, but we're like, whatevs. He's gonna do it to you. I mean, he won't in this route, because that would just, well, he might. But in the end, it'll work out perfectly, and we'll live happily ever after. But, cheaters always cheat. Don't date a cheater. Once a cheater, always a cheater. I swear to fucking God that people don't stop. This is like, I love you so much, I don't know what happened. You fucked someone else. You don't love the person that you're with. Okay, sorry, you don't. You can have an open relationship if that's your thing, but you can't be like, I love you, baby, and then fuck other people behind their back. So I'm sorry, but triggered, okay? I'm a little bit triggered. All right, I've been through this shit. Don't ever trust a cheater. Just be done. Bye, Felicia, out. Like, but you know, sure, we're gonna go down this. My God, this is slightly more irritating to me. You're like, oh, well, we're fine with the fact that he's cheating on other people with us because we think it's not. He's gonna do it to you too, sweetie. Oh, honey, you're an idiot. Again, I know in the game, everything's gonna be fine and wonderful, but weird. Weird, the one who stuck us in a fucking cage is less shady than Kaguya. Well, here we are. This is a train wreck. I kind of love it, though. I mean, I love him, so I want to be like, there's got to be something and he wasn't actually cheating that we can, like, excuse it. There's no excuse for it, but we're going to excuse him for it because I love him, so I'm just going to let him get away with it, and I don't like it. I don't like that part of myself, okay? I pulled the ice pack away from his face, then cleared my throat. Okay, I promise I won't get mad, so please just be honest with me. What is it? How many other girlfriends do you have? You really won't be pissed off. At this point, I don't have the energy for it. Because you're annoyed with me? Zuboshi. Bingo. Zuboshi. Well, now I feel bad. This isn't funny, Kaguya. I put my hands on my hips. Do you really want to know about his past love affairs? No, actually, the answer is no. Alright. I admit, I do have some questions, but there's no point in dredging up your history, so I won't ask. I just want to check. Yeah? You have romantic feelings for me, yes? Of course I do. Am I the only girl you're currently seeing? Yes, you are. Okay, then. Is that all? Yeah. Well, yeah, because that other girl broke up. Although, he did seem to when he saw her, he's like, was I dating you? Like, does he forget shit every time he gets slapped? Because, I mean, I've been slapped a lot. I think I forget things. Every time someone hits me, another girl falls out of my brain. Which, it's a lot of girls hitting you, and there's a lot of girls falling out of your brain. That's why you don't remember things? I don't know. Look, there's just some weird shit. He stared at me slack-jawed. I mean, as would anyone. What's the matter? I was pretty sure you were about to break things off with me. Do you want me to? No, not at all. I know. I exhaled slightly. Will you break things off with Kaguya? Quick save. Because we're going to get a bad ending now by saying yes. But you have a point. I don't know if I can keep dating you. Right. I'm sorry. No, it's quite alright. I'm the one who should apologize. I didn't treat you right, Puppet. Wipe that frown off your face, sweetheart. You've done nothing wrong. It's like, I break up with people and they break up with me all the time. There's like 500 other girls in this town. But I'd better be going. And now that we're through, I mustn't wear out my welcome. Thanks for patching me up and all that. Our time together was short, but I enjoyed every minute. Right then, I reckon this is farewell. With one final smile, he turned and left the room. After he left, I just sat there and stared down at the table. My lunch break was over and I needed to hurry back to work so I wouldn't leave anyone hanging, but I was too emotionally exhausted to move. Here comes the wizard. Why did I feel so drained, though? Was it because of all the drama? Was I merely disappointed with the way things turned out? We'd only just met, so I had no real lingering attachment to him. So why did I regret what I said? Why did I feel like I was wrong about him? Just then... A cat? Wait, what? I don't remember leaving the window open. Where did you come from, little cat? Where indeed? Who's there? Relax. Don't be frightened. It's nice to meet you, young lady. I am the wizard. You're the wizard? Didn't we call him Mr. Wizard a couple of times in the first one? So you found out your boyfriend was seeing another woman. A terrible betrayal, isn't it? But a betrayal of whom? You didn't know he was with her. She didn't know he was with you. Indeed, it was he who betrayed both of you. Is it his fault, then, since he left you in the dark? Well, riddle me this. What if he was in the dark, too? Are you saying it could have been an accident? I like how he points us. He could have been in the dark. That explains his, who are you again? Like he fell and hit his head. Okay, all right. Yes, precisely. If it's a crime to hurt someone unknowingly, then all of you are guilty, are you not? Unfortunately, we'll never know the truth. Why? Because he's left you. The story has met an untimely end, young lady. The end. I kind of actually feel like we should just leave it there because we're a little under our normal time. But if we continue, I don't think we'll get to the next bad ending, which is only a couple choices away. But we might as well stop it here. Because we're at, since I stopped and looked at his accent, we're 57 minutes. We're a little under our hour. But there's going to be ones that we go a little over an hour because we're just wrapped up in it. So this is a perfect place to stop, and we'll continue, and we'll pick back up with that save and continue on the good path and then keep doing our loops. So I hope you're enjoying it. I'm kind of curious now. Actually, I kind of like getting the bad endings as you go. I feel like it's almost, this looping is almost a better flow, because, here, you break off things, and he's like, oh, but, what if he didn't know? And you're like, wait, he didn't know? Which explains his, who are you? To the lady. So it's oh, and then you loop back, you go down, you get another bad ending where something else, and then you're it's almost, you could get these little kind of clues popping in here and there, in his route, whereas, in Gretel's route, it was da-da-da-da-da, death by fire, death by fire, death. It was pretty much except for the letting him consume you thing, it was you let him have sex with you and he wasn't ready and now he just threw himself in the fire. We always burned to death. That was a little traumatic in that one, huh? But this one, since there's so many bad endings, it's almost better to kind of loop through them the way we, we said no to him, and then the wizard was no, you have to say yes. And then we said yes, and then we were we should break up with him because he was seeing another woman, he's cheating, and he's but did he know about it? And you're wait a minute, what? And then it's kind of interesting. I mean, obviously we know the bad endings are coming, we know it's the wrong choice, but it's interesting to see, what the wizard kind of says. It kind of makes you, hints kind of at later stuff, so... Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.